Hey, what is up guys, it's Okran1923 here, and today's video is going to be a new deck profile video about the Charmer deck. And in this particular video, I will show you how to build a semi-competitive deck with just 3 copies of the structure decks that you can find in your local OTS store. So let's get started, but before we start, subscribe to our channel if you're not already. 75% of you watching my videos are not subscribed to the channel, so let's try to grow together. Give a like on the video if you like it. Follow me, Okran1923, on YouTube, Facebook and Instagram. Follow my competitive YuGiOh team, the Omnia players, on Instagram, Facebook and Discord. You will find all the links in the description box below, and download the YuGiOh dual calculator application to check your life points. So let's get started. And as I told you, I won't add a single card in here which is not from the structure deck, and I was able to do a main deck as well as a side deck, which is absolutely incredible because this structure deck has a lot of reprints, so we can do that anyways. So main deck, 40 cards. I decided to play one each of the possessed, mainly because they are cute. So if you want to maximize on the earth and fire, it is absolutely right, but I wanted to keep this in a way in which I could play all of them because they are really cool all together. Moreover, you need different attributes for some cards, so I decided to play one each, but as I told you, you can play 2 or 3 of this one and maybe 1 or 2 of this one, and you could cut these 2 at all if you want to. Then for the big new guys, we got 1 copy of the Great Inari Fire and 2 copies of this Earth guy in here. Why 2 and 1? Because the Earth one is way much stronger in my opinion, since this kind of like floats. What I mean by this is that when you tribute 2 in order to special summon this from your hand or deck, this card will activate its effect and will summon back one of the 2 you tributed. So basically it is always a plus in terms of attack power that you got in there, and then they share the same secondary effect, which is adding 1 from the deck, which is pretty cool. Whereas this one burns, it has a burn effect that can be cool sometimes, but is not as strong as this one in my opinion. So that's the reason why I want to maximize on the earth part of the deck. And this is shown also by the fact that I'm playing the 1 lone copy of the little Ausa. This is in combination with the possessed card, the trap card, that will they will special summon 1 Charmer, and then the Charmer monsters you have on your field cannot be destroyed by battle. So basically this card alongside with this one will prevent the opponent from OTKing you. So that's the reason why I wanted to play at least 1 Charmer, so you can prevent the opponent OTKs in that way. Then we got 3 copies of Fairy Tail Luna. This card is so strong, one of the best card, if not the best card of the deck, simply because when summoned it will add another copy of itself, or you can add of course all the other familiar possessed in here, because they have 18 and 50 of attack, as you can see. Moreover, this represents a layer of disruption because you can bounce 1 card the opponent control, as well as bouncing this one. Of course, if you want to add some cards, you can add the Kaiju strategy, which is pretty cool since you can bounce them and special summoning them once again. Then for the familiars, we got 3 copies of the Nefariousness. This one is the Earth one, and it is the best one for the reason I told you before. The 1 GB all together with the 1 Ranryu. These 2 are super cool because they float. So I played also the event, the structure deck event that I won of the Charmer deck, and these 2 are so cool. So if you want to play an even more control variant, you can play more copies of this one, because when this one got destroyed, you can special summon this from the deck, and then when this one got destroyed, you can special summon this back from the graveyard. And if this one got destroyed once again, you can special summon again from the deck another copy of this one, since they are not once per turn. And then last but not least, the 1 Inari Fire, just to have all the familiars of all the attributes together. Then for the hand traps, we got 3 copies of Effect Veiler. This card is super cool. This card is actually played in the real meta game, so why not play in this hand trap, which is super strong. And then 2 copies of the Witchcrafter Golem Aruru. This one is another hand trap. 2 copies is fine since it's once per turn. whereas Valor is not. And this prevents you from getting OTK and can bounce something on the opponent's field, and it's a huge beat stick. Then moving on to the spell cards, we got 3 copies of the quick play spell. This card is super strong. Discard one, and then basically you can add when you add one and you set the other one, which is mostly of the time the same exact thing. This card is super strong, and if you draw 2, it doesn't matter if it is once per turn, since it's a quick play spell card. Then we're running 2 copies of the Awakening. This card you can play also a 3 if you want to maximize on, because you can buff your you can boost your Charmer's attack, which is pretty cool, since this deck maybe will have some problems dealing with big monsters with big attack. But with this one you can do that, and it is super strong, the combo with the Fairy Tail Luna. If you start with these 2, you basically add 1 and draw 1. This card is super cool also for that reason. Then moving on to the field spell cards, I'm running 2 copies of the Secret Village of the Spellcasters, since this card can be win condition against certain strategies, so you kind of like want to see that. And then 2 copies of the Ichirin. This card is strong, but it's not the best in my opinion, because the part in which you can negate needs a requirement which is not so easy to fulfill sometimes, so 2 copies is fine, alongside with the one terraforming that we got in the structure deck, which is pretty cool, so you can add the one you need in the moment you need. Then moving into the trap cards, we got 3 copies of the Teamwork. This card is so strong, mandatory 3 of in my opinion. You can special summon 1, pop 1, and it also has the graveyard effect, which is pretty cool. The one Unpossessed, I think a 1 is fine since it's searchable, as kind of like all the other cards, and this prevents you from getting OTK'd, which is pretty cool. The one Metaverse, once again, doing Metaverse plus Secret Village of a Spellcaster is a super strong move against certain decks, and if the opponent has a lot of spell cards in their hand, you basically win the game there on the spot. And then last but not least, 3 copies of Solemn Warning. I think you want to go first with this deck, and having a warning is always cool sometimes. Hitting the normal summon, it is super strong and will block the opponent's turn. Then moving into the side deck, we got 2 copies of Denkoseka for the back row matchup, going alongside with 2 copies of Twin Twisters, once again for the back row matchup. So if you hit some back rows with Twin Twister, is fine. If you normal summon Denkoseka, you probably win the game there, so it is another cool card to have. Then for going second strategy against combo decks, you got the one Raigeki, which is pretty cool, especially alongside with the Dark Lure No More. If you draw these 2 cards together, you are pretty good to go. So you negate everything and then Raigeki the opponent's field, which is pretty cool. And then the one long copy, which is the 3rd one of the Secret Village of the Spellcasters, since if you go against a heavy spell based strategy, this card is super strong. Then 3 copies of Book of Eclipse. I think that this one is super cool, also because you can out cards like Dragoon of Red Eyes, and some people are forgetting this, that this card can out pretty much everything. It's super cool, especially going second. You can book everything, and once again, if you hit also the Raigeki, it is a lucky win. And then last but not least, 3 copies of Dimensional Barrier. This card is still strong in my opinion, especially now that Zodiac will come back. It is true that you cannot hit Link monsters, but you can hit everything else. So we got a lot of fusions with the invoked strategies, we got a lot of XYZs with the Zodiacs, but also other decks are playing a lot of synchros in the combo variants, so this card can be pretty useful. So that's basically it for today. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments down below, what do you think about this budget competitive $30 deck profile, which is pretty cool. You can improve this strategy really a lot. As you can see, there is no extra deck in here, but you can play all the Charmers in the extra deck. As you know, we got the Link 2s. You can play generic rank 4s and generic other links to improve your strategy, and in the main deck you can put something like Kaijus, hand traps and stuff like that to improve this deck a lot, which is pretty good looking. As you can see, I really love these artworks in here. So that's it for today. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Subscribe to our channel if you're not already. 75% of you watching my videos are not subscribed, so it is pretty important that you join this community. Give a like on the video if you like it. Follow me, Okra1993 on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. Follow my competitive YuGiOh team, the Omnia players, on Instagram, Facebook, Discord. You'll find all the links in the description box below. And download the YuGiOh Dual Calculator application to check your life points. And remember that there is a giveaway going on that you can find up here on the right about one structure deck that you can win for free. So that's it for today, and see you in the next one.